Hey, alright, so today I wanted to show you something I didn't find online at all yet. You need to install a second battery. Adding a second battery, now you could just throw them in and run them in parallel, or even in series if that's what you wanted to do. But what most people have recommended on the forums, which didn't exist a video for that I felt was good enough, was how to install one of these. This is a smart battery isolator. And what this allows you to do is to put the both of the hot connections there for the two batteries there. So the first thing I got to do with this, first of all, this is really cool. This one, I'll find the brand and let you know about it, but it's a marine-based one, so it actually has a nice neoprene or some kind of rubbery plastic in there that separates these things. So hopefully when it gets wet, it's not going to cause us any problems. Of course, get yourself a good grade 1, at least a marine grade 1, and that way you'll keep it safe. As I said before, I kind of make my own. I like using number 4. We've got 4 gauge wire here. This is like welder's cable basically. I had plenty of it left over from another project I did, so it made a lot of sense. I had to widen these little things down here at the bottom for the wire, the little inlets. These ones I'm not going to use, but I just took my Dremel right in there and carved out a little bit more space so I can fit each and every one of the wires in. I'm going to do the same thing. Now I've pre-measured out these lengths, so I know that when I put it behind the seat, they're going to fit nice and snugly. They're going to be able to give me enough slack around the side as well, so that I can wrap them around. I don't have them running all over the place and looking crazy. So for this True model, I put those in. It comes with a base plate that you can put on first. So you see you've got 2 holes that go all the way through and then 2 that aren't on the 4 corners there. Only 2 that go straight through. So and those other 2 are for the base plate, which I just installed down here back behind the chair. Alright, so I went ahead and put that right on. So you have the cables coming out around under the chair bracket here. They're going to continue to wrap around to the front of the battery here. Slip down. Got one that goes to the front of this battery, and one that goes past that, hopefully through the hole there and onto this one. So I can route my batteries around. And now I just need to, see it already slipped off. Now I just need to plug down this battery, or this piece, and make sure it's there. And be careful of this grounding wire. Put it on. It came with a couple of long screws you can use to get those other 2 holes down, so I'm just going to go ahead and screw them in. It also came with ones with a nut. I guess if you can get behind there and you want to make it a more secure connection, you can, but that's it. I'm just going to grab my drill and go ahead and get these ones in. Alright, I know this looks like a complete mess, but I'll explain it to you right now. It's been a work in progress. I kind of screwed this up a few times, so I've got it kind of dialed in now. First of all, you can see I've got my battery minder on right now, keeping everything going. The isolator is glowing blue. This means everything's working normally. When that color turns off with this isolator, that's when it means it's actually drawing from the second battery. So and it'll handle all the charging too, so it's not a big worry. But anyway, it's a good thing to have the blue light on. If you have the vehicle turned off and it's not being powered and you see the blue light on, it's not the end of the world. That's pretty much what it's supposed to be. So from the primary battery, I still have a couple of things connected. I haven't moved it over yet. I've actually got the negative terminal that goes all the way up to the front block still on here, even though I've moved the positive one to the second battery. The whole purpose of this second battery was to put all my accessories on it and try and keep the primary battery free for just starting. And again, I'm leaving my winch hooked up to the starter battery because that's off most of the time anyway. And when I need it, I'd rather have a larger battery to be able to fulfill it. And so what else do I have? So I've connected both of the batteries. They're positives You can see the two red wires there over to the battery isolator. And then the battery isolator, you just put a little ground. You can see I put it just there. It screws to the ground on the cage here. So that's all it is to really install that piece. I know I've got a couple of relays here too. You can just ignore them for now. It's kind of a work in progress. And so the only other thing to do is to connect the negative of the second battery all the way around to the negative of the first battery. And that's pretty much all that's required for the installation.